if you take a given child and help that child move to a higher opportunity area where we're seeing better outcomes for kids who grow up there from birth, that child ends up doing much better, has significantly better life outcomes, not just in terms of earnings, which is what I'm showing you here, but a variety of other outcomes like college attendance rates, lower rates of incarceration, and so forth. Second, what you see here is what really seems to matter is childhood environment rather than where you're living as an adult. We see in this study and other analyses we've done that helping people move to a different area after they're 23 or so has essentially no impact on their economic outcomes. Third, you see that every extra year of childhood exposure to a better environment leads to better outcomes. So there's kind of a dosage response here. If you spend 2 years in a better area, that yields some benefit. If you spend 4 years or 6 years in a better area, you get a cumulatively larger impact. Why is that important? From a policy perspective, there's a lot of focus, as many of you know, on early childhood intervention these days. And so we think early childhood intervention could be quite valuable. But what you see here is even if you move to a better environment when you're 10 instead of you're 15 or 15 instead of 20, you still see quite substantial gains. Okay, so what I think these data show you is that childhood environment really seems to play a big role in shaping kids' long-term outcomes. The next question that you probably naturally have in your mind is, what is it that makes some areas better in terms of producing better outcomes, having better childhood environments than others? And so we have looked at a variety of different factors that sociologists and economists have talked about over the years as potential explanatory variables here. And I'm just going to summarize here in the interest of time the 4 strongest predictors that we've found. So first, we see that areas with lower poverty rates, less concentrated poverty, tend to have higher rates of upward mobility. That's very consistent with the NPR story focused on the public housing projects. Traditional public housing projects in the US are the epitome of concentrating poverty in a particular area. And those types of places tend to have very poor outcomes for kids in low-income families.